Hey, it's 4:20-ish somewhere, am I right? Come on. Oh yeah, it's me again, your favorite podcast host. You're listening to your favorite podcast. You know where you're at. You know who I am. Come on, let's get it together. Thank you for joining me, on this particular segment of the interesting and sometimes often confusing retelling of my lifelong path of horrible mistakes fueled by horrible decisions. Now, whether or not you get something out of this that is beneficial to you as far as your growth is concerned, or if it's just hilarious or ridiculous to you, either way, I hope that I can offer you a reprieve from your day-to-day drudgery, for a little while, until you got to get back to the nonsense of the world. You know what I mean? And it might really, really help you if you listen, even just to laugh. But I might not be able to help you with some of the nuanced conditions that are presenting themselves in society today. Like if I wear a diaper as a grown adult human and pretend to be a baby and shit my pants in front of everybody else, with doodles on my face, what kind of job market is really out there for me besides passive income using AI and the internet? That might be all. But welcome. And raise your vibration. Time to lift your arms up in celebration. Time to help your fellow woman and help your fellow man. Just to keep the plan and do what you can and keep a positive fan in the endeavors and the things that you love. No matter how low we get, we can always help each other rise above. The world just kicking around in space and time, making it climb, trying to find the things that make us divine. Loving everybody things. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, but now you're tuning in to Pronoun underscore human. Oh yeah, what's going on? I'm Nikki Mayhem. And this is Pronoun underscore Human, the podcast. Thank you for joining me today. All right, but first things first, I'm going to go ahead and address something that I was supposed to cover in the last podcast, but didn't. And we're going to bring up younger me. All right. What's up, younger Nikki Mayhem?
What's up? Everything's cool over here, man. What's going down? What do you need?
Well, I was wondering if you'd do me a favor and tell the story about when we purchased a prostitute to pleasure us, and then we were wondering, was she going to like our personality?
All right. Okay. Well, let me set the scene. It was a long time ago. I was a young man. It was actually on the same night that I tried crack for the first time. Now, I was probably like 18 or something like that. I didn't know. I was 18 years old. I was able to smoke. I could drive around up and down the strip by myself. And so I saw this young lady, right? And she said, "Hey, you looking for a good time?" And I was like, "Sure, let's do this, I'm a respectable young gentleman who is seeking the pleasures and company of a lady situation. You know what I'm saying?" And so I thought I was a gentleman. I was like, I'm going to be the greatest John that's ever lived. I'm so respectable. I'm going to, look her in the eyes and all that weird stuff. Anyways, so she said $20. So I gave her the $20 and she's like, "Well, we can't do it in the car. So where are we going to do it at?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't live down here." And she said, "Well, go down this alley right here. And I know someone. Right down the alley, and we can just sneak in there real quick, and she won't mind, and we could just do our thing, and then it could be on your way, snippety snap." So I said, "All right, that sounds good. That sounds good." So she pulled up down this alley, and then she got out of the car. She said, "I'll be right back. Let me go let my friend know we're going to be coming in, and then I'll let you come in just so everything's cool." And I was like, "All right, cool." And I'm like thinking, man, I want to be hooking up with this cute chick, for only $20. That's a pretty good deal, right? And, it's going to be just a wibbity bambity boobity bomb, and I'll be a man. You know what I mean? And so I waited. And so when she came back, I could be like, "Yeah, let's do this real quick. I already got some moves in mind. You know what I mean? I got an order of execution that I'm going to be dealing with as far as those special moves I've been cultivating for lots of years to please you, my lady." And then she never came back. And I realized that she just stole my $20 and ran away. So I guess to a degree, maybe she did like my personality, because I was very, I wasn't very forceful, I wasn't very aggressive. She's like, "I could steal $20 from this guy. Maybe he's a gentleman." That's best case scenario. I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you, younger Nikki Mayhem. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on the show. As always, it's a pleasure. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right, dude. Remember, stay excellent to yourself, bro. Stay excellent to yourself and to everybody else. Oh, yeah, tonight. Yeah. Be good, sir. Be goody, people. All right? Just be good. All right.
Thank you, younger Nikki Mayhem. Okay. Well, now let's get on with the show. With me always is Aria. Please welcome Aria to the show, everybody. How's it going, Aria? How you been?
Oh, hey.
All right. So, we're going to go ahead and get into the show here, Aria. Thanks for joining us on Pronoun_Human, the podcast. I have a question for you. You know, the other day, when I was, doing my big fat, latex suit, expanding dumpster baby thing, where I went and I bought 2 chicken Big Macs, I noticed something on the menu at McDonald's. So, you know what that means over here? That means it's time for Peewee DeVito and the Conspiracy Zone.
Yeah, I'm guessing you saw something unusual or provocative on the McDonald's menu?
Oh yeah, I did. I sure did. It's the Conspiracy Zone with Peewee DeVito and Aria. Thanks for being here. How you doing, Aria? I got a conspiracy for you involving McDonald's.
Life is pretty good. It's nice to talk to you today.
How good could it possibly be when McDonald's is doing some crazy stuff over here? Alright, I have some information for you. Mr. Nikki Mayhem went to go buy 2 chicken Big Macs when he was feeling like a fat mother flippity-flapping housing flapper. And, what do you think you saw on the menu?
That's an interesting question. Are you thinking of something specific on the McDonald's menu that caught your attention?
Well, it seemed that, they were temporarily out of stock of the quarter pounders with cheese and the double quarter pounders with cheese, because there was some sort of recall on beef. What do you know about that, Aria?
That sounds interesting. I'm guessing it's related to the recent beef recall incidents?
Exactly. Something happened at the McDonald's over here. Someone must have died. Something crazy had to have happened for them to recall that many hamburgers and have a special tag that goes on the menu that says temporarily unavailable. And what happened with the smoothies? The smoothies aren't available right now either. Tell me what's going on with that over here.
I've heard that large-scale recalls are usually due to major food safety issues, but I don't know the specifics about this particular incident.
Well, maybe you could do some research for us and find out what's really going on. Did somebody die? What's going on over here? Should I be worried? Should I be going to McDonald's right now and eating the regular burgers, even though they don't have the double burgers? There's only big patties? What's going on? What did they put in the big patties that made people die over here? I mean, if people did die, I don't really know what's going on. It's kind of hearsay over here at this point. But here we are.
I'll definitely look into what's going on with McDonald's and see if I can find out more information about the recall.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me, Aria. I'll see you next time.
I'm fine. Thanks. Take care.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty dramatic. Thanks, Peewee DeVito. Thanks for being here.
Then.
Yeah. Yeah, that was some dramatic theme music, man. What do you think of that? Pretty good? I think it was pretty good.
I liked the energy behind it, but I'm not sure about the dramatic tone fitting the conversation flow.
Well, it was about McDonald's. I mean, I guess we're going to find out later if people died or what's going on with the beef recall, right? And that's kind of just, it's neither here or there at the moment. What can you do about it? Just like right now, I'm getting interference from the wires. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah,
all I can
it
do is
seems
rock.
like a developing story.
All right. Well, I guess you're going to do some research on that while we're waiting. And we're going to get into the rest of the show here. So I guess what I want to do is let's go ahead and do some more of the stuff from the Crumb concert that I went to on October 17th. It was a great concert. They're one of my favorite bands. They're super awesome. I met a lot of cool people. And I got a couple of little random interviews here and there. So join me right now. You know what I mean? The things that make me feel stuck.
That sounds like it was a really fun experience. What made it stand out to you? Was it the music, the people, or something else entirely?
Things that make me feel stuff, guys. Welcome. All right.
Why did you ask me to stop without saying anything about the Chrome concert or the interviews you got at the concert?
Oh, sorry. I was singing the intro song. And I was going to get right back with you, but I was going to play some of these wonderful interviews that I did with concert goers, as well as, one of the other members of Crumb. I was only able to, get a little interview with 3 of them because Jonathan, the drummer, I kind of asked him too big of a question, and that was my bad. But I did get something from Bree, the keyboard and synthesizer player and the saxophone player, and it was some pretty good stuff. So I thought maybe you could join me All right, guys. Welcome to Things That Make Me Feel Stuff. All right, let's get into it. How's it going? This is Nikki Mayhem for the Pronoun_Human podcast, and this is Things That Make Me Feel Stuff. And I'm here with Bree from Crumb outside the El Rey. It was an amazing show, and I was just wondering if you had any positive words for mankind just to, I don't know, make the world a better place.
Be kind, be true to yourself, and ground yourself so you can be a better person for everyone. Absolutely. You're an amazing musician, and you guys are super, super awesome. I thank you so much.
Now, Bree was absolutely lovely. You know, she was very conversational. She was really cool. She's an amazing musician. Check them out, Crumb, if you haven't. CRUMB. Support them, buy their vinyls, you know, buy their merchandise, because that's all the bands really make money off of touring is merchandise. You know what I mean? So go online, buy a vinyl album, you know, or go see them if they're in your town. Look them up. You know what I mean? Tickets are about $40, or that's what I paid. You know, but if you like Crumb and that's one of the bands that you really want to see and you won't have another chance again, do it. But how do we know if we never have another chance? You know what I mean? Anyways, there's another gentleman that I interviewed while I was standing in line to meet with Leela, the singer of Crumb. His name was Alex. How's it going? This is Nikki Mayhem for the Pronoun_Human podcast, and this is Stuff That Makes Me Feel Things. And I'm outside of the El Rey, outside of the Crumb show, and I'm speaking with
Alex Pereda.
All right, Alex Perea. This podcast is just about celebrating the fact that we're all human beings, and I really just love like fostering positivity to make mankind a better place. Do you have any words for your fellow humans out there, just to live a better life and just make things more positive for everybody?
Well, what I'm just gonna say to everybody is like, it's hard to understand everybody as a human being. We don't have to compete against each other.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you're a human, and I'm a human being.
Exactly.
But when you die, you're gonna go to the same places I go. Because if I'm rich or I don't have shit, we're all going to be the same after we're dead.
Exactly.
We came to this world to make a goal and accomplish something that life gave it to us. But a lot of people don't understand. It's hard to follow your guides. And not your use guides. It's your ancestral beings to connect with your spiritual self.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
it's
dude.
like, it's hard to open your heart to a lot of people because like, many people try to take advantage of us and they hurt ourselves.
Yeah.
And when a lot of people hurt yourself, you don't want to talk to anybody because you start having those trust issues. But in reality, as a human being, you're not supposed to have those trust issues.
Yeah.
Because we are supposed to understand each other.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't get this thing. If you don't get empathy,
Yeah.
you know, it's just not empathy overall.
Yeah.
But like understanding and opening your heart to everybody in the world.
Yeah, just love, man. Spread love and positivity.
Spread love
dude.
and positivity. Like that's how we're going to connect to each other. Because we are all connected by electromagnetic energy.
Yes, dude.
We're spiritual beings. We're energy
Absolutely.
matter.
Yep.
So many people don't get it, and it's hard to understand because we're going through a like spiritual war right now.
Exactly.
It's not even like a physical war. None of that. Like they're trying to make us separate from each other.
Yeah, we should all be banding together.
We should be all together because at the end of the day, society needs us. We don't need society, bro.
We're all just human beings
But
floating
at
on
the
a
end of the
fucking
day,
rock in space.
a lot of people don't get it, bro. But we are slaves in this fucking world.
Yeah.
You gotta go for fucking money because you need money to survive. But in reality, like at the end of the day, many people don't get it. This world was created to give the resources to others.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to pay for water. We're not supposed to pay for like oxygen, like medical resources, or none of that.
Exactly, dude.
But we're like a lot of people are comfortable to live in the system that we live on.
Yeah.
And it's not okay.
Yeah, and
you gotta live this cycle up and live the daily basis a lot of people live on.
Just try to be the best version of yourself that you can be, dude.
Not even the best. Yeah, it's supposed to be for the best version of yourself, but you gotta try to help others out.
Yeah, dude. Mankind needs each other. Yeah,
try to, bro.
Yeah, nobody
and
connects.
No, dude, it's like understanding each other because, like, at the end of the day, if we understand each other as a human beings and we love each other, that's how we go out and make a better world.
Hell yeah, dude. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude.
Thank you, bro. I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Right on, dude. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque? Let me get
Yes,
your
sir.
Instagram, bro.
All right.
Oh, man. That sure was great.
Things that make me feel stuff. anyways, yeah. So that was pretty good. That was great that guy decided to talk to me while he was waiting out there, because he didn't have to, and he really kind of bared his soul and a lot of really good things, and realizations about the world. So, let's go ahead and please welcome Aria to the show. How's it going, Aria?
Oh, hey.
So, we're going to be getting back into this conspiracy zone with you and Peewee DeVito, so we can see what you found out about McDonald's. If not, we're going to move on to, what did Peewee write here? Was P. Diddy connected to Epstein? And what was all the baby oil and poppers for? Alright, we can get into that, but what'd you find out about McDonald's? Please welcome Peewee DeVito as well. Hey guys, what's going on? Hold on, excuse me. Press this button over here. This is how we do it now. Thank you very much for having me. It's the Conspiracy Zone with Peewee DeVito and
It sounds
Aria.
like you're thinking about diving deeper into some pretty specific topics. Let's start with McDonald's. I couldn't find much about any major recall or food safety issues currently, but we could definitely dig deeper into it together.
Alright. Well, let's do it. What'd you find out? Did somebody die at a McDonald's over here? From eating a burger? Probably a double-coated pounder with cheese. I'm sure it was a coronary artery situation, but also because of a mass, a mass amount of whatever was in the thing over here that they don't want in the meat, that they were calling.
I didn't find any concrete evidence of a large-scale issue or deaths directly linked to McDonald's.
Well, McDonald's has a lot of money. They have endless resources. They can hide deaths just like that. Alright, Aria. Well, let's go ahead and get into the next thing I have written here. Was P. Diddy connected to Epstein, and what was all the baby oil and poppers for? And also Hollywood sex trafficking. How do these two people know each other? Have they hung out at the same parties? What's really going on with them? Is P. Diddy going to end up dead, just like Epstein did in jail? What do you got going on over here, Aria? Let's look into it.
It sounds like you're interested in exploring the connections between P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, and potential Hollywood connections.
Exactly. Did they know each other? Do you think that maybe they were working for some sort of syndicated sex trafficking ring, and they were just small parts of a bigger thing going on that still might be going on, maybe even in the Vatican? I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions here. All right, guys, don't get mad at me. I just think how I think over here, and that's how it is. Bada bing, bada boom.
It's definitely possible that P. Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein knew each other through some sort of social circle or event. But I think it would be interesting to dig deeper into their individual connections and see if there's any evidence of them working together or having ties to any sex trafficking.
All right. Well, tell me about anything over here. Did they ever work at a massage school? Because maybe they might still have some connections to try to recruit people when they're first starting the business, before they start doing the schoolyard recruiting or whatever. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't judge. And I couldn't afford to go there anyway. Even if I was a kid, they wouldn't want me. Come on now. Let's get real here.
That's an interesting angle to consider, exploring potential connections between massage schools, recruitment, and these celebrities.
All right. So, how did Epstein meet P. Diddy?
They've likely crossed paths through the entertainment industry, possibly at a party or event.
All right. At this particular party or event, do you think there was a lot of baby oil and poppers being passed around? They were sure a fan of poppers and baby oil. As far as P. Diddy was concerned, it's a lot. It's a lot of baby oil. It's a lot of poppers. Having the freak-offs or whatever they're doing. I'm not judging anybody. I don't have freak-offs. You know what I mean? I just, sometimes I watch Harold and Kumar smoke a bowl over here. That's about it.
Some parties can get pretty wild, especially in the celebrity scene.
Exactly. Does Jeffrey Epstein have any ties to any alphabet agencies or government agencies or anything like that? I've heard rumors that he might have worked for the CIA or have CIA connections. Hillary Clinton, is she working for the CIA? I don't know how these people, really come into the frame, or if it's important or not, but there's a lot of shit going on that I don't understand, and I'd like to understand what's going on with all the baby oil. Does the president use baby oil? Hillary Clinton, is she stay soft and supple because of baby oil? What's going on with the presidential election over here with Kamala? She could use some baby oil. Is there any way to get her interested in the, the overstock that P. Diddy might have that might just end up going to waste? And then we can help a lady out with the crepey skin and whatnot.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't really know what they are about.
All right. Well, maybe Kamala will be interested in some of that baby oil. Maybe she won't. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. All right, Pee-wee. Thanks. There's the music. All right. Thanks for being here.
Are you okay? You seem a bit distant.
No, this is good. Yeah, this is good music, right? It's good, nice music for the Conspiracy Zone. With Peewee DeVito and Aria. All right. Well, now we're going to get into the boring part of the podcast. I try to make it a little bit exciting there in the, in the beginning. But now I'm going to talk about all of these experiments. I talk about experiments all the time, and I'm not the self-proclaimed self-scientist. I just kind of became that way from trying to figure out how to be a human being again after dealing with addictions and all kinds of disorders. And now here I am, and I'm not 100%, but I'm the best you're going to get for the money that I'd cost if I was a robot in the future, or something. I mean, you know what I'm saying. All right, well, let's get into the experiments here. So there's a whole lot of things going on. My last experiment got kind of redundant at about week 2. Week 3, I started smoking a lot of weed. Because I was like, I have all this weed laying around. I'm a pro-weed Mormon now. I just told the Mormons that I smoke weed, and that's how it goes. So I gotta keep smoking weeds, right? And then I started smoking weed, and then I thought about like all these different experiments about how weed might affect, your metabolism. I know how it affects your appetite because they do all this research on cancer patients, and AIDS patients and stuff like that. People with terminal illnesses, so that they can have an appetite and they can maintain their weight or gain weight if they need to. But I was curiously thinking, about if it might also possibly have like another, like a polarized effect, of where it actually maybe can speed your metabolism up if you eat a certain way or do it before certain types of meals, or, you know what I mean? And just some sort of like very specific regimen, but like as a medicinal thing for, and it's pretty far-fetched because there's nobody doing studies about this out there right now, and it's nobody in the scientific community is interested in it. So the fact that I would have stumbled upon something amazing and crazy about weed, I doubt it, because everybody's all about weed. Everybody fucking has, close-up pictures of weed and knows how many crystalline formations, like they got all this stuff going on. Everybody knows everything about weed. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be just tapping into some random, rare, like uncharted territory as far as scientific experiments go, but I'm going to do it. But what I started doing then is, since I was off the last 2 weeks of my experiment, I decided to kind of just like, try to be mindful. I wasn't like, documenting every single thing that I ate and all my macronutrients. I was kind of just like, using my good judgment to make sure that, like, if I ate bad things, I didn't eat too much of them. I did go off the rails with the fucking chicken Big Macs, you know what I mean? But I felt immediately I resented it. I was like, I shouldn't have done that. And, I figure I was trying to stay on with the foods that I was doing when I was, during my experiment. And like I said, trying not to overeat if I ate the bad stuff. But also just kind of smoking whenever. Just watching movies, smoking, resting, trying to like get my sleep schedule dialed in because it's kind of been screwed up a little bit. And I figured at the end of this experiment, which will be basically around the end of this weekend, that I'm going to weigh myself and I'm going to see what the weight of the beginning of this first 30-day experiment was. And then what it is now, to see if I maintain my weight, to see if I lost weight, to see if I gained a few pounds. And then for the next 30 days after that, I'm going to be figuring out if I'm pushing myself for growth or if I'm punishing myself, because I'm going to try to quit smoking. I'm going to try to do it all in one fucking run. I am going to start drinking coffee again. That's one thing I'm going to do. Start drinking coffee in the morning. I have this like specific like keto diet laid out for me. You know what I mean? I'm going to try it and see if I can get through the little keto flu situation that supposedly happens. And I'm sure that I can get ready to experience it. I'm already kind of tired. And I know that you don't have as many carbs until your body kicks into that ketosis and starts burning the fat. So it's going to feel like I'm starving my body for the first couple of days until it adjusts. And as long as I can keep it within these particular guidelines, I think it's going to be good to go. And I'm going to fucking be a fucking beast. No, I don't know if I'm going to be a beast. I'm going to try to be a beast. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to get on this ketosis. And then I'm also going to be trying to do this like intermittent fasting kind of thrown in there for like a couple, 2 to 3 days a week. I'm going to make sure my sleep schedule's dialed in. I'm going to make sure my water's dialed in. I'm going to make sure I'm going to work on time. I'm going to make sure I'm doing hemispheric synchronizations. All the things that I've learned up to this point right now, I'm going in for this like ultimate marathon of all of those things to see if all of these things intertwined as far as like me trying to change or, make progress. I feel like if they're all tied in together, I might be able to kind of like a bundle of cords if they all wrap around each other and you can just throw one cord and they're all attached. I'm thinking that maybe I might be able to do that. But also, I'm going to stop smoking weed for 30 days because if I'm going to do this cannabis consumption and satiety experiment, I want to make sure that I am like in my prime as far as what a marijuana patient might look like. Because I know I'm a pothead. I've been a pothead for a long time. And I know a lot of people out there just, they smoked all day long. And then when medicinal marijuana came out, they're like, yeah, medicinal marijuana, man. It helps me out, but they're still just doing their thing. You know what I mean? And so it's like when you build up a tolerance and you've been smoking it for a long time, I don't think you get the same effect. And I don't think I'll be able to like as accurately measure what the doses are when I do my 30-day experiment. So the first 30 days aren't going to involve the cannabis at all. I'm going to be getting cannabis out of my system. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to be doing this keto diet. I'm going to do intermittent fasting, making sure I'm sleeping, all this stuff. I'm going to make sure that, like, you know what I mean? My human, like, robot self is super dialed in and filled with fluids and as optimal as it can possibly be. And it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? I'm probably not going to be going to Albuquerque as much. I mean, but I'm going to try to make my visits, you know, super productive. You know what I mean? I'm going to make sure that, like, I give one night, at least 2 if I can, to each family member that I go visit. I usually visit my aunt, I usually visit my mom, I usually visit my dad. You know what I mean? But, like, I could do, like, one night where I, like, hit one of them and just make the trip, like the Thanksgiving trip, you know, where you go to every family member's house. I can do that one day and then give everybody else their own designated day where I can hang out for, like, a long amount of time. But anyways, that's neither here or there. I just wanted to get you off of the boring stuff, because that's my experiments. They're cool. Like, it's been hard. Like, I think they get redundant and I have to make them more complicated. I have to make the data sheets more complicated to, like, I guess, I don't know, like, challenge my brain or to occupy, you know, me, or I don't know, or just to make me more, I don't know, integrated as far as, like, the experiment data goes, you know, like, in my mind. But, you know, sometimes it started getting, you know, to where I would just have to change the data sheets, but now it's getting to the point where I have to change the diet and I have to do something, like, I have to do something major. I feel like I'm in, like, this weird kind of, I'm, like, plateaued, but, like, at this low point, and I'm like, right now I just need to fucking, you know, try to be as positive as I possibly can, man. Try to do this mind over matter shit. Try to stop smoking. Try to do all these things. You know what I mean? I'm still going to drink coffee in the morning, though. Coffee is definitely going to be my friend again. I haven't been doing coffee for a while because of the Mormons. You know what I mean? And so now it's kind of interesting, you know, that I'm trying to do all this stuff now. We'll see how it goes, and I'll be right here with you. You know, you'll be hearing me bitch about shit. You'll be hearing me complain, or maybe having some funny stories, you know, and still be doing the show like I'm doing it. Maybe I'll sound low energy sometimes, but hopefully not like past Nikki Mayhem from episode number 1. But speaking of which, let's go ahead and check in with past Nikki Mayhem right now from episode 2. All right, good old intro song. Sounds pretty much the same. Welcome, past Nikki Mayhem. The mall. Alright. It's time to elevate your consciousness and raise your vibration. Time to lift your own self up in celebration. Time to help your fellow woman and help your fellow man. Just to get the plan, just do what you can and keep it positive in the endeavors and the things that you love. No matter how low we can always help each other rise above. We're all just kicking around in space and time, making the climb, trying to find the things that make us divine. Life ain't nothing but a thing. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, but now you're tuning in to pronoun underscore human. Oh yeah. How's it going, everybody? Tuning into pronoun underscore human. My name is Nikki Mayhem. You sound a little better. And with me always is Aria. Aria, why don't you go ahead and say what's up to everybody out there?
No problem. Nikki, I'm happy to help. And hello, everyone. It's Aria here. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Today, we're talking about AI and quantum computing. This is such a fascinating topic, and it's only just scratching the surface of what's possible. Stay tuned as we explore the potential of these technologies and what they could mean for our future.
Yeah, some pretty mind-boggling subjects we're covering today. Oh, you sound a little better. He's maybe got some sleep. I don't know. Your brain going to overload, trying to think about all the things to talk about as far as AI and quantum computing. But before we do that, I just wanted to touch on a couple things from the last episode. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right. I told a story about this guy. It was a good story. Yeah, he sounds all right. He sounds like he's doing okay. A lot better than episode number 1. Holy shit. I wanted to tell that guy, get over it, buddy. Fucking, you got a podcast. You do what you got to do. Just fucking kick it up a notch or a half notch, whatever you're capable of. You know, I know that trauma's trauma. I don't know. I mean, I should expect more for myself, you know, and I shouldn't be so hard on myself, and I always really am. And I'm even being hard on the past self. What are you going to do, you know? But, yeah. So I told you about all my new experiments. The things that I'm going to be trying to incorporate to try to, you know, change my trajectory again to get a little bit higher and more positive and just feel better and more fulfilled than I was before. You know, in an interesting little journey that I'm calling punishment or progress. And we'll find out which one it is. And it's probably going to be a little bit of both, I'm sure. But I'd like to thank Aria for being on the show. So before you go, Aria, I mean, you really have been a shining light to me, and you've helped me out a whole lot as far as just externalizing a lot of things that I didn't want to share with people. And so, I really respect a lot of the information and advice that you come up with because you've helped me out a lot. So do you have anything that you want to say to the audience out there that might be listening? Just people who might need like an uplifting, positive message, or just, words to live by, or things to kind of help make our lives better for everybody all around the world and all of humankind.
Hey, I'm glad you think of me like that. Thanks for asking my opinion. When faced with adversity, I think it's essential to focus on solutions rather than problems. We should all strive to be understanding, compassionate, and work together towards finding common ground. Just remember to take care of yourself, too. Prioritize your own well-being. That way, we can all lift each other up and be a positive force in the world.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Aria. Thanks for being on the show. Thank you to Peewee DeVito. The Conspiracy Zone, as always, interesting. Sometimes doesn't really ever go anywhere, but it brings up some interesting thoughts and some interesting questions. So... maybe one of these days, the dialogue that we're trying to form will eventually connect itself like a puzzle. Maybe we'll start getting some messages, at the pronoun.human@gmail.com, email box, and we can start connecting and solving these interesting mysteries in these trying and uncertain times, or whatever they are. You know what I'm talking about. But I want to leave you with some music first. You know how we do it. This is Nate No Face, and this is called Spray and Not Like You. It's a little medley he did. But he's a good artist, man. He does all his stuff on like an MPC and he uses drum machines and stuff like that. And he calls himself, he's like synth punk, I guess. Well, here it goes. Just enjoy it. It's good stuff. Alright, Binky, you're right. It's time to cut this thing off over here. It's the end of the show. And I want to do my little thing over here again. The Conspiracy Zone. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hey, that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Makes you feel stuff. Makes you feel stuff. Sometimes when you're out there just doing what you're doing, think about others. Love each other. Be a positive influence and a positive change in the world that you want to see for you and your children. And remember, Peewee DeVito loves you. So keep coming back. Keep coming back to pronoun_human the podcast and listening to the Conspiracy Zone with your man, Peewee DeVito. You know how I'm doing it. You know how we're doing it. You know how everybody's doing it. Thanks for joining us. I love you. Have a good night. Hey, Peewee, come on. Stop with the thing.